Rock plays here. This is Rocket 102.5, KKCI, Goodland, Burlington, Colby, and online at nwksradio.net.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Taking a glance in the rearview mirror and looking down the road ahead, President Trump preparing to deliver a year-end address to the nation. He'll do so tonight from the White House. He's taking his pressure campaign against Venezuela's dictator to the next level. President Trump has ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers into and out of Venezuela. About a dozen GOP lawmakers in competitive districts are upset with House Speaker Mike Johnson. Johnson says the House will not vote to extend Obamacare enhanced subsidies that the Democrats had set up to expire in 2 weeks. First-degree murder charges, 2 of them, will be brought against Nick Reiner in the deaths of his parents. The 32-year-old may be making his first court appearance later in the day today. On Wall Street, the Dow futures are up 106 points. NASDAQ futures 114 points higher. More details, srnnews.com.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. Inflation is hitting everyone hard right now, especially when it comes to healthcare. Over the last 10 years, healthcare costs have skyrocketed by, get this, 230%. If you have Medicare Parts A and B, you know there are still out-of-pocket expenses like deductibles and copayments, and they really add up. But here's some good news. MediShare 65 Plus is designed to fill in those gaps and help protect you from rising healthcare costs. At only $99 per month up to age 75, you get peace of mind at a price you can afford. And MediShare is trusted, too. It's been around 30 years. It's not some big impersonal thing. It's a community of people helping each other, business owners, pastors, retirees. People love it. MediShare 65 Plus just makes sense. To learn more, give them a call. They're great to talk to. They'll offer to pray with you each time you call, too. Call now. 833-SHARE-55. That's 833-SHARE-55. 833-SHARE-55.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Merry Christmas from the Farmers State Bank in Oakley. We invite you to stop into our lobby for coffee and cookies throughout the month of December as our small way of saying thank you to our loyal customers. We appreciate your business in 2025 and throughout our 118 years of community banking and look forward to serving you in the new year. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. Colby Community College's on-campus and distance learning veterinary nursing programs recently earned continued full accreditation from the American Veterinary Medical Association Committee on Veterinary Technician Education and Activities. The AVMA CVTEA is the accrediting body for the profession, and most state regulatory boards require graduation from an accredited program for graduates to be eligible to sit for the Veterinary Technician National Examination. The accreditation process includes a comprehensive programmatic self-study and an on-site evaluation by veterinary professionals who assess curriculum, faculty qualifications, student outcomes, facilities, and resources. Colby's on-campus veterinary nursing program, established in 1969, and its distance learning program, launched in 2012, are both fully accredited. Colby is one of 6 colleges nationwide to offer a program both face-to-face and online. For these and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
Today we'll have dangerous fire conditions. There's a high wind watch is in place for tonight and tomorrow. Skies will be partly cloudy with temperatures reaching in the mid to upper 60s. Those southwest winds will increase 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts of 45. The red flag threat exists out in eastern Colorado. Nonetheless, no outdoor burning. This evening, a strong cold front will move through, expecting an immediate shift to the northwest with the winds gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour. Temperatures will fall into the low to mid 30s overnight. And then tomorrow, the peak wind gusts will be later in the morning to early afternoon, where we could have 60 to 80 mile an hour winds. Thus, brownouts and near zero visibility from blowing dust are possible. Travel will be treacherous, especially for high profile vehicles out there on highways and I-70. Also could be the potential for down power lines, and temperatures will be much colder in the low to mid 40s. This meteorologist Chris Schrumick of the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
This holiday season, jolly old St. Nick and his helpful elves at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware are stocked up and ready to make Christmas merry and bright. From festive decor and handy tools to gift cards and great stocking stuffers, they've got something for everyone. Go bigger with Traeger or Weber grills or even Blackstone griddles, Yeti coolers, or powerful Ego snowblowers that make winter easy. Make holiday shopping simple. Shop local at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby.
The holiday season just got brighter at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. Wrap up the year with 0% for 36 months on all 2026 Chevrolet Trailblazer and Equinox models. Or slide into a new GMC, 1.9% for 36 months on a 26 Arcadia, plus up to $7,000 in rebates on a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation with Turbo Max with eligible trade-in. Big savings, big style, and big holiday cheer. Only at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Stop in today or visit online at hurlchev.com.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pestaway in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pestaway today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4! It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone, he's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon, he'll score. Ball game!
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pestaway LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Down low into the bucket. Lauren Linton drops that back out. Hope Bierman 3-ball on the way and in. Back-to-back made threes for Hope Bierman, who's starting to find her shot. 12 points a season high for Hope Bierman.
Ball step back three and solo no good. Tipped in and dunked home. Jaden Ross, he filled it up. He keeps it alive. Now Rosario is the third time a charm. You bet it is. All those offensive rebounds and finally the 3-ball fall.
Jeff Petty defending Brunson. Oh, the handles.
The find, the bucket for Kolick. That was nice all around. Out to Tejada. His pass intercepted by Council. This could be fun. Melvin, a two-hand jam. Coast to coast to the throwdown.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. We are the Morning Blitz. Good on broadcasting Goodland's Rocket 1025 and WKSradio.net. Glad you decided to join us here on this December the 17th. Connor Schuh, Ross Volkmer, excited to be with you here for a full next 50 minutes of the program here. And who knows, if we get a little long-winded, it could go a little bit longer than that. It happens from time to time on this program, but glad you decided to join us here on this Wednesday morning. Once again, want to remind folks, weather-wise, going to be a nice day today, 61 degrees, but as we get towards the end of it, from what they're saying, getting towards the end of it, and then all through Thursday, high winds. 3-hat day, according to Curtis Duncan, starting tomorrow. So get your hats out. Lots and lots of wind to be prepared for this upcoming next few days. Are you got your hats all prepared there, Connor Schuh?
They're all stacked up somewhere over here.
Got to throw them on because Curtis used to explain. He'd say, "Well, you need a 3-hat day because when one blows off, that means you have another 2 left to go." And so then when the other one blows off, you still have a hat on. So
what happens when the last one blows off?
No, you need a 4-hat day. Then I guess is what you need at that point in time. So
yeah,
nonetheless, it's going to be extremely windy. Could cause some very interesting travel situations. So please be prepared for that. But we got some high winds coming to the tri-state region. It's the entire tri-state region. It's Nebraska, southwest Nebraska, northwest Kansas, even western, and then into east and east central Colorado. And then I've seen it could impact all the way pretty much across Kansas, going all the way as far east as like Lawrence. I've seen possibilities of it being, winds anywhere from 45 up to 60 miles per hour, and then gusts higher than that. So
I better buckle up on my drive Thursday.
Yeah, you've got to. Yeah, you may want to. I don't know. What do you? Are you flying out Thursday?
I have decided to drive home.
Oh, you're driving home for the holidays.
Yes.
Oh my.
I feel like there's going to be some flight cancellations. I'll bet.
There might be. I don't know on that.
See some maybe.
Maybe some of the takeoffs in central Kansas, which there's not a lot of big-time airports, but there could be a few delays, I guess, at Hayes or something along those lines. We'll see. Maybe. I don't know.
What if it stretches to Denver? That's the question.
I don't know. I don't know how far west it goes. I don't know if it goes all the way to Denver or not. From what I've seen in the graphics, I'm not for sure if it reaches all that far west. But like I said, if you are pretty much from, eastern Colorado through, like I said, almost all the way to eastern Kansas, not quite. I think you're going to be impacted somewhat by the winds on this upcoming Thursday. So be prepared. You better buckle up, bucko.
My car's low to the ground.
Yeah, that's good. You're not driving a high profile bus or minivan or van or something like that. So that's good. And don't have anything strapped to the top.
No.
Keep it all in the cab.
Definitely not this time.
So be prepared. Very, very windy times coming up here on Thursday. But past that, though, weather going to be okay. I think we've got nice temperatures here, at least. Not going to be super cold. Temps at around the 50s, it looks like, for the foreseeable future for what I've seen at this point in time. So anyway, today's program, we're going to talk some wrestling. Colby High School wrestling coach, good friend of the program, Cole Garcia, is going to join us coming up here in segment 2. It was a great weekend this past weekend for Lady Eagle and Colby Eagle wrestlers. At their own Lady Eagle and Colby Eagle Invitational. So we'll be talking to him about that and his expectations for the season for Colby Wrestling. We'll get into some thoughts. Well, not many thoughts. I mean, Kansas beat the pants off of Towson, and they didn't even need Darren Peterson to do it. That's coming up in segment 3. We're going to talk some college football playoff predictions. The college football playoff gets rolling on Friday, for those who don't know. So the CFP gets going. We're going to make some predictions, whether that be, looking at the bracket and kind of picking our bracket as we go along. So we'll do some college football playoff predictions here in segment 1 in just a little bit. But first, last night, another night of high school basketball, in the books. Back to the regular season we go after a weekend of tournaments. I tell you, for some teams, it's been a lot of basketball here early on. I can remember, in previous years, they'd play a game Friday, no games, and then tournament weekend, and then just a game Tuesday, and then it would be holiday break. It's kind of how it started. You kind of get like 5 games in before Christmas break. This year, way different. Teams are getting more games in. Still got games coming up on Friday for most teams. Goodland's going to have 3 more games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, going over there at Rock Creek High School. So lots of basketball being played, including at the event center last night where Connor Schuh was covering Colby and Holcomb. Holcomb gets it done in both games. I got to say the surprising one to me was the girls' game. 41-39. Colby only loses by 2 to a top 5 ranked Holcomb team last night. I was impressed. Tell me about the games last night, Connor.
Well, it's funny how both unfolded because each game was honestly the exact opposite. The girls' game was a 12-point game at half. Colby had only scored 8 points. So we dropped 31 in the second half and held Holcomb down to what? That would be 21. So we outscored him by 10 in the second, and it came down to the very end. We were down 5 pretty late. It was like 10 or so seconds to go. And I forget who was shooting the free throw, but she missed the second one for Colby. Shaylee Holzmeister got the offensive rebound. Kick out. Harper Vaughn hits a 3. It's a 2-point game. We foul as soon as they inbound. They go to the line, and I think it was their best player. I think it was Delilah Galliard, I'm pretty sure. One of their best players, one of the two sisters on Holcomb. They can score. And she was at the line, misses both free throws. There's only 2 seconds to go, and we couldn't get a shot off on the press. It was tough. And then the boys' game, we were actually only down 2 at half, and we were right there the whole first half. We actually held a lead for, I think, almost the entire first quarter, but it was back and forth through that whole half. And then, unfortunately, some of our guys got into foul trouble in the second half, and then that kind of hindered our ability to stay in the game. But I was impressed with both teams. I mean, each of them hung with Holcomb the whole way, regardless of which way the score went in the second half. So I think if you can play with Holcomb, you can play with most teams. So I came away feeling confident.
I was very impressed with the showing from the Colby girls. I mean, I think Holcomb's going to be a really good basketball team this year. They have a lot of experience and a lot of good players. You mentioned the Galliard sisters, Bella and Delilah Galliard, that are both really, really good. I know they lost Hallie Jones from last year, but there's still lots of good other pieces that they have. And Colby, of course, for those who don't know, like Connor is pretty much starting over from scratch. I mean, besides Shaylee Holzmeister, that's and Sadie Cheney. Is Sadie Cheney still around, or she graduated?
Yeah, she's
Sadie Cheney's still around. So besides those two, there's not a lot left over from last year. So they're kind of starting over themselves. So I was blown away by that score, to be honest with you. I thought Holcomb would probably win by double figures. And to only win by 2 shows great resiliency. And also great coaching. Nancy Walker's a fantastic coach. He's done a great job. And those Lady Eagles are going to get better every single game this year, and they're going to be in hard out by the time you get to late in the season. The postseason would be my guess. But that was a really good showing there from Colby. The boys' score, that looked about like maybe I thought it was. I thought probably close, and my guess is they made some free throws down the stretch to kind of lengthen out the score a little bit. That would be my thought, I guess.
Kind of. It was a free throw battle for the last minute, so just kind of going back and forth. You know how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a 10-minute minute, basically.
Oh, yes. A wonderful 10-minute minute. That's great. Yeah. Last night in Goodland, the Goodland Cowboys and Cowgirls hosted the Beavers from Scott City. The girls' game had an interesting storyline. I can't say I've ever remember seeing a storyline quite like it, but Scott City was missing 2 out of their top 3 scorers and a key lady off the bench, all due to concussions that they had in the last game. I know. It blows my mind. Their leading scorer, Piper Fox, their third leading scorer, Krissa Irvin, and one of their top bench players, Lily Leitner, all were out with concussions last night. So the bench was full of girls for Scott City that weren't in uniform and felt bad. And that definitely had an impact on it. Voice of the Beavers, Adam Gadavy, said that he was impressed with they put up 35 points. They did score the ball pretty well. They got some late points there, but Goodland was just too much for them, overmatched them 55-35, the final score. Good show, very balanced scoring sheet once again for Goodland. That's when you know the Cowgirls had a good night, is when you look across and everyone's got around that 8 to 12 point mark, and pretty much a lot of people did. Career night for Emily Gray Stargell, the new Cowgirl. She had 10 points and 8 boards with one of her better performances coming off the bench, and Hope Bierman had a couple of threes, which was big because they need her 3-point shooting in order to have success this year, and she had struggled. It was so funny. She was 1 of 11 from 3-point shooting in the season. Yet she won the S&T 3-point shooting contest at the
Really?
top side. I know, right? It's kind of weird. It was an odd deal. Nonetheless, she got back on the horse and got a couple threes last night. And Cowgirls get it done over Scott City. I think they forced like 32 turnovers out of Scott City. So got it done. Get a 20-point win, back on the horse after losing on Saturday to a Life Prep Academy pretty handily. And then the boys' game I thought was going to be a really good one just based upon what I knew and had seen on paper. And it turned out to be that. It was really entertaining. You talk about an exciting first half. We saw 9 lead changes in the first half alone. Just a back and forth affair. And then it got to be halfway through the third quarter, and Goodland found themselves down by 34-30. And that is when the Cowboys decided to go on an 18-1 run and put themselves at 48 to like 31 or 30. Yeah, 48-35 at that point in time, 13, 14-point lead. And Scott City made a couple of plays down the stretch to get a little bit closer, but that's pretty much where Goodland decided to get the victory last night. Connor Collett, the sophomore superstar, the diaper dandy, whatever you want to call him, just unbelievable last night. His first career double-double, 29 points and 13 rebounds for Connor Collett last night. He's a dude. I mean, Braylon Mole had an off night for his standards, just 10 points. Jesus Saucedo had 11, but Connor Collett carried the team with 29 points and 13 boards. I cannot recall in the history of covering the games that I have a sophomore that has that limited of varsity experience just come in and just dominate the varsity level like I've seen. It has been so impressive to watch Connor Collett go do his thing. And he does it all. He rebounds. He loves to put his head down and get right to the bucket. He's a bull in a china shop. And then he can also pop outside and hit a three every now and then if he wants to. He really has a complete game, and he's been fun to watch. So shout out to Connor Collett and his great performance last night to lead the Cowboys in a 56-49 win for Goodland over Scott City. And so good win. Good Cowboys and Cowgirls get to 2-0 in league play. And now they head east starting on Thursday night to face bigger schools and some really tough schools. It's going to be a tough showing or a tough tournament over there east at the Flurry at Flush. And so it'll be fascinating to see how Goodland stacks up against the competition over there. It will be challenging.
You know, I'm excited to see the Colby Goodland games later in the season. Those are going to be good, I think.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They always are. They're always really it doesn't matter. They're always seems like competitive. They'll be very entertaining games and lots of things to talk about for sure when it comes to that. So,
oh yeah.
Anyway, quickly, some other high school scores from last night that I was able to track down late last night, this morning. I know these aren't all of them, but I did find a few scores. Oakley and Hoxie faced off in Oakley last night. Some lopsided wins for both sides. Hoxie girls beat Oakley 70-38, but Oakley boys really beat Hoxie 78-24. I was blown away by that score on how big Oakley won that convincingly. That was impressive. Wallace County was taking on Weskin last night. Girls score, Wallace County wins 54-18. Wallace County boys also beat Weskin 48-35. Decatur Community boys beat Hill City 46-40. And Shiloh girls, they're unbeaten. Not surprising. Taylor McCarty, one of the best basketball players in the state. A 5-0 start for Shiloh, 56-47 win over Rollins County last night. A few of the other scores from the area. So high school basketball off until Thursday and Friday before and Saturday for some. And then the holiday break will be here. So let's dive in. College football playoff gets underway here on Friday night into Saturday. How excited are you for the college football playoff? Are you more excited for the college football playoff, or were you more excited for the NBA Cup? That's the question.
The college football playoff. I mean, come on. I love basketball and I love the NBA, and the NBA Cup is cool, but this is the college football playoff. This is the playoff. So I think this answer is obvious.
I just thought it was funny because I was reading something from The Athletic this morning. They were talking about how it was a poll question they put out. How much do you care about the NBA Cup? And it was like 65% said, not at all.
Yeah, it's still getting its feet under it, but it made for some good basketball, I think.
Okay. I admit I didn't watch a single lick of it, but nonetheless, the college football playoff first round gets started here on Friday night. That game will feature that is Alabama, Oklahoma on Friday night, 7:00 Central, 6:00 Mountain Time, I believe. Kickoff. Oklahoma at home hosting Alabama. I think that's the thing I love about the first round is that it's all at the host sites. Do you wish we played everything except maybe the final four at home sites? I think it'd be great.
It would be cool, but I do like having the the bowl games integrated with the playoff.
Yes.
Having the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl in there, I think that's fun. But I guess I wouldn't mind either way.
The first round games are awesome. Can you imagine Texas Tech in the first round game? If they were in a first round game and what that atmosphere would be like at Texas Tech? That's my
That'd be hostile.
They have to bring out the tortillas again if that was the case. Anyway, Alabama, Oklahoma, and then on Saturday, a triple header of college football. James Madison, Oregon, Tulane, Ole Miss, and Miami, Texas A&M. Which first round game is the most interesting to you?
Honestly, the one I'll be looking at the most is JMU, Oregon. I am so interested to see if JMU can hang with Oregon, and so they can just shut the people up who are talking about how it should be only Power 5 and Group of 5 teams have no place in the playoff, like your Paul Feinbaums, and Joel Klatt was even saying some stuff. Kirk Herbstreit. A lot of the big talking heads for college football have been very outspoken lately against the Group of 5 programs. So I would just love to see a team like a JMU hang with Oregon. That would warm my heart. So I'll be watching this closely.
I think I'm most intrigued by probably the Alabama-Oklahoma game on Friday night. Won't get to watch any of it. Probably see the highlights later, but the Alabama-Oklahoma game, because Oklahoma has gotten the best of Alabama now 2 consecutive years in a row. Doesn't matter if it's been played in Tuscaloosa or in Norman. It hasn't mattered. And so Oklahoma's gotten the better of Alabama. I'm just kind of curious if they can do it 3 times in a row. I mean, can you imagine, what the pressure will be like on Kalen DeBoer if he loses 3 consecutive times to Oklahoma? No offense to Oklahoma, but just 3 consecutive times to any opponent, and it's Oklahoma. It would not be good for him. But I really think if John Mateer is healthy, which I think he's healthy-ish, and Oklahoma's defense is that elite, I think they're a better team. I think Alabama is sputtering offensively, defensively. They haven't been that great. So I think like Oklahoma is the better team, even though they come in here with the pretty much the same exact record and pretty dang close in the seeding as well, 8-9 game. But I know that game fascinates me the most, probably followed by the Miami Texas A&M game. Even though that's a rematch from earlier in the year, I think, right?
Yeah.
They'll be playing, yeah.
I think. Hold on, let's look.
I think they did, although I could be wrong. Or maybe those are 2 teams.
No, because they both played Notre Dame.
That's
the
commonality. Yeah, that's the commonality. So that game is also interesting. How does Texas A&M look? Their offensive coordinator has been also side preoccupied by getting ready to take over Kansas State's football program as soon as it's done. How does that look? Miami's invested a whole bunch of money in that roster. Do they put it together, or does A&M get it done? I don't know. And then you have the coach, the missing coaches bowl between Tulane and Ole Miss, because John Summerall is going to Florida. Is he coaching in this game?
He's doing something with the program. I don't know if he's coaching, but he's like, let's look it up.
Look that up. I don't know. I thought maybe he didn't. I know Lane Kiffin's not going to be there for Ole Miss. We know that. But I didn't know if John Summerall was going to coach there at Tulane in this game. I know he's accepted the job at Florida and doing all that, but Tulane, Ole Miss, these 2 teams did play earlier on in the season, and Ole Miss just wiped the floor with Tulane. I'm kind of curious if Tulane can make it a little bit better of a contest.
Okay. It looks like he's coaching.
Okay, I thought that was the case, but I didn't want to speak on that too much. But Tulane, Ole Miss, and then Oregon at James Madison. JMU has been very successful. They have a lot of momentum going in their direction. They're playing, they're playing at a high level, and they have a lot of momentum based upon all the equity they've built up over the course of the last few years. No matter who their head, whether it's Cignetti or Chesney, or if it's going to be Billy Napier in the future. Feels like James Madison has built up so much equity that they have this success rolling in. And Oregon, I don't feel has been as Oregon-y, if that makes sense. They don't feel as dominant. So maybe James Madison's able to cover the 3-touchdown spread at this point in time.
I think they will.
Okay, there you go. So anyway, let's make some quick predictions here, and then we'll get on to Cole Garcia. But so who are you taking in the first round? Who are your 4 winners in the first round?
I'm going Oklahoma. Ole Miss, I would love for Tulane to win, but I don't think it's going to happen. And then, because those Ole Miss kids are going to play hard with that new coach because they don't like Lane Kiffin, it seems.
With Coach Golding, yes.
Pete Golden. And then, probably Texas A&M. And you know what? Let's throw down an upset. Let's go JMU over Oregon. Why not? Why not?
Oh, man, interesting there.
The Dukes.
I think it will be a challenge for James Madison to fly across the country and play a later game in Autzen where I think the crowd will be electric. So I'm taking Oregon. I'm taking Oklahoma. I'm going to take Ole Miss as well. And I'm going to take A&M for the simple fact that I think they are going to be motivated. And when they're motivated, they're one of the best teams in the country. And I think they're going to be motivated to win this game. So give me A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and I think Oregon's going to get it done because they are at home. If this was a neutral site bowl game type thing that could happen in the next round, I might consider taking James Madison. But I think the home atmosphere at Autzen is going to be enough to get that taken care of.
That's the big argument there.
So you've got JMU, Texas Tech. What'd you pick? Oklahoma or Alabama? Oklahoma, Indiana?
Oklahoma.
And then you had Ole Miss, Georgia, and Texas A&M, Ohio State in the next round. What are your next four predictions?
Honestly, my brain is telling me to go chalk all the way down the board. But let me just look over these matchups again. I mean, I see all these, and I feel like that top four is just so good and maybe not totally separated from the rest of the pack, but I feel like all those teams have a leg up on all the teams playing out of the first round. Geez. I don't want to. That's so boring to just pick all the favorites, but I think I'm going to have to. Ohio State, Georgia, Indiana, Texas Tech. Yeah.
I think we're going to see I think Texas Tech is probably going to advance. I think they're playing really, really well. They're going to get the win there. I'm going to take a massive upside here. I think Oklahoma's going to beat Indiana. I think Indiana's going to probably lose in the first round.
Oklahoma's not scoring on that defense, though.
Is Indiana scoring on Oklahoma's defense, though?
Probably more than
maybe.
Than Oklahoma would score.
We'll see. I'm just going to take Sooners. I've got, like you said, can't go chalk here. I got Georgia over Ole Miss. Ohio State, Texas A&M. That's another one I could almost feel like picking because it's in the Cotton Bowl, which means it's going to be heavy Texas fans.
Well, that didn't matter last year. Come on.
That's true. But I don't know. I'll stick with Ohio State because they're the most talented football team. So I'll take Ohio State to beat Texas A&M there in the Cotton Bowl. So, all right, on to the Final Four. You've got Texas Tech, Indiana, and Georgia, Ohio State.
Indiana stifles Texas Tech, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little more worried about this other matchup, Georgia, Ohio State, than the other. Georgia, even though Indiana beat Ohio State, I think I'm a little more worried about Georgia for some reason. They scare me against Ohio State. I think they'd have a shot to beat them if this matchup comes up. But man, I think Ohio State would pull it out just by a slim margin.
Going to be close. Into the semifinals, I have Texas Tech and Oklahoma, and then I will have Georgia and Ohio State playing in those. I'm taking Texas Tech to beat Oklahoma at this point in time. A little bit more rest. The money pays off for Texas Tech. They advance into the championship game. And then I'm going to take Georgia over Ohio State. I think Georgia gets it done. Dogs able to get. I don't love Gunnar Stockton. I'm not a huge Gunnar Stockton guy, but I mean, what Georgia's defense did to Alabama's offense. Remember the -3? The -3? That is just impressive.
Yeah, they've got a really good defense.
I mean, they could maul Ohio State a little bit in that department. Not that Ohio State is going to, I think, make their hay running the ball a lot. They're going to throw it more to their great core of wide receivers. But I'm going to take Georgia in that. And I've got Georgia, Texas Tech in the national championship game. And I'm going to take Georgia. Georgia with the win.
Okay.
Dogs.
I guess my natty would just be a Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, little rematch there.
Yeah, this is a very vanilla bracket. I hate it. I can't believe I did this. I don't like doing that at all, but it feels logical. And there's no stakes involved in this either. I don't know why I'm doing this.
No stakes.
But Ohio State beats Indiana in the rematch, and Fernando Mendoza gets sacked 10 times. There you go.
Breaking news. Ohio State a winner for Connor Schuh.
I think it's realistic. You can't lie.
No, it is realistic for them to get if they get it matched up in a rematch, there's a good chance for them to win the rematch game. We'll see. But I think Indiana goes down in the first game. Yeah, there's going to be one team. Watch me. There's one team in that semifinal. There's a top 4 team that's going down because of that bye. They had to sit there and watch. The other team got some momentum, got some things going. They're going to beat them.
It's bound to happen.
Bound to happen. Watch it. Mark my words. All right, we got to get to a break. Cole Garcia is going to join us next. Talk some Colby Eagle wrestling. You're listening to the Morning Blitz here on a Wednesday.
The holiday season just got brighter at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland. Wrap up the year with 0% for 36 months on all 2026 Chevrolet Trailblazer and Equinox models. Or slide into a new GMC, 1.9% for 36 months on a 26 Arcadia, plus up to $7,000 in rebates on a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation with Turbo Max with eligible trade-in. Big savings, big style, and big holiday cheer. Only at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Stop in today or visit online at hurlchev.com.
Your business was built right here. So was ours. At FNB Bank, we are not run from some distant city. We are run by neighbors for neighbors. We know what matters to you because it matters to us too. From local decisions to face-to-face service, we are here. Bank local, grow local, stay local. FNB Bank, member FDIC.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Tom Saluto with the Anderson Trade Group with your overnight market report on December the 17th. In the overnight session, March corn was up 1.5 at 4.38. May corn was up 1 at 4.46. And July corn was up 1 at 4.52. January soybeans were unchanged at 10.62. March soybeans were unchanged at 10.71. And May was unchanged at 10.83. Kansas City hard red winter wheat March was unchanged at 5.04. May was unchanged at 5.17. In July, KC wheat was unchanged at 530.5. The Dow Jones is currently up 120 points at 48,600. S&P is up 19 points at 6,875. NASDAQ is up 87 points at 25,467. Gold is up 42 points at 4,374 an ounce. And crude oil is up 2% at 56.35 a barrel. If you're out in the Colorado area and have any grain to market or risk management questions, please call John Hanke or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or you can call the Overland Park office, myself, Tom Saluto, Jared Law, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000. Thank you.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords. Turn on multi-factor
All right, we are back here on a Wednesday, December the 17th. Currently sitting at going to be 36 right now, but a high to the low 60s. And once again, being aware of the windy weather that we're going to be experiencing starting here this evening and rolling on through Thursday. So take that into account. Let's go to the phones. The Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline. Waiting patiently for us there is Colby High School wrestling coach Cole Garcia. Cole, good morning. How are we doing today?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Doing well, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. You know, I saw on social media, you made a post, at the end of this past weekend. It was such a huge weekend of wrestling in Colby, and you gave a salute, to all the wrestlers, all the volunteers, all the coaches. How cool is it to see a weekend like that pulled off in that community, particularly for a guy who's so entrenched in the wrestling community?
It's awesome. We talk about how it's such a long weekend for us, but it's awesome to know that we have that support and that we have that many people that are willing to come out and help us and get things done. And obviously having the event center is huge. We can host those big tournaments like that. And the people that work there always treat us great, and they're willing to help in any way they can to make sure things run smooth. So it's just great to be in the community like that that supports wrestling.
Of course, the girls get first place in the Lady Eagle Invitational, and then the boys get second. Speak to the success of both those teams a little bit.
It comes down to how hard all of our wrestlers are willing to work for us every day. They're up in the room and they're grinding, and some of them have had some extra morning workouts that they've wanted to get to. And it's all to them. The coaches are there to help push them and help motivate them, but they're the ones putting in the work, and they're grinding every day, and they're working hard during conditioning and working hard during the drill. And the room is a place where everyone's comfortable and everyone's willing to do the work, and it's paid off so far. So hopefully we can keep that rolling.
Cole, you've been a successful wrestler yourself. Been doing this for a while, either being assistant coach or a head coach there at Colby. What's the keys to having success early on in a wrestling season? Because you mentioned the conditioning and things of that sort. What's the key to having success early on in a season?
I think that conditioning plays a huge part in it. I kind of felt like last year we weren't as good a shape as the people were wrestling, and so this year we really stepped up that conditioning, and I think it paid off for us. There was a lot of times that we were deep in matches this weekend that we still had some left in the tank, and the other person was fading. And I think that's a huge part of this early on in the year is having a gas tank to last till the third period.
How big is the summertime in the off season, away from, the months of, November, December, January, February? How big are the other 8 months of the year when it comes to keeping the program near the top?
To me, that's like the time where we're able to like fine tune things. It's not as much about being in shape. It's more about going through the positions and going through like when I take my shot and they do this, how do I counter that? And to me, that's what the summer is for. And obviously there's freestyle and Greco that you can do, which are two closely resembling folk style, but they're different styles of wrestling. So to me, summer, like I said, is just fine tuning what you're good at and then working on areas that you're not as strong in.
Cole Garcia, our guest, Colby High School wrestling coach. With the addition of the girls a few years ago, and of course with your boys, it's a huge roster that's in the room wrestling, whether it's off and on or combined together. And you got to have a great staff to do that. How important is the staff, particularly with the numbers of staff, to make sure that everyone gets the work in that they need and gets the right teaching and coaching that they need?
Yeah, it is huge. So we're lucky in Colby. We have a ridiculous wrestling room. It's 2 full mats and a section of another one, and completely wide. So I think we have 27 boys and 18 girls right now, and everyone's up in the room all at one time. So it is. We have enough room, but it's still pretty packed in there. But we have 6 coaches on staff. Coach McKinney, Coach Branham, Coach Tubbs, Andrew Flanagan's the head girls coach. And then we just added Keegan Smith actually from over there in Goodland this year. And it's to have 6 guys up there and 6 very knowledgeable guys. I mean, we've all wrestled for most of our lives and know a lot about wrestling. It's priceless, right? To have all those guys up there that know and are on the same page, and they can go to this group and teach them and then go to this group and teach them. And it's just everything flows so well with a great staff.
Well, and you almost have to have that because it's almost like, teachers in a room. If you have 1 or 2 teachers for, like you said, your 30, 40 athletes, you're not getting the one-on-one that some people need at one point in time. And so this way you're able to divide out and you can really work on that technique and stuff on an individual basis if you need to.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so we have probably 15 people that are pretty new to wrestling. Most of them are first year. Some of them did maybe 1 year in middle school, but we're able to take those 15 over to the side of one part of the room, and a couple coaches work with them on just getting down one move before we move on to the next one. But then we can have 4 other coaches that can stay up on the higher end of the room and run practice a little bit faster. So it's nice that those people that need that instruction can get it at a slower pace, but the people that need the faster pace can get that as well.
You mentioned the pace there, and it's interesting to know that you have 15 or so wrestlers that are kind of starting brand new when they get to you there. And because there's some wrestlers, that start when they're, 4 or 5 years old. I mean, there's some real young ones. So what is it like, to coach that wide of spectrum in knowledge in the sport of wrestling?
I think it takes a little bit of patience, because you're used to, if you coach the varsity level, you're used to guys being able to say, hey, do this, and they rattle it off. And then you get a brand new person who has no idea what they're doing. You kind of think, well, listen, just do this. And you're like, oh, wait, they have no idea how to do that. So you have to slow yourself down so that you can help them become better, because there'll be a guy who's maybe his second year of wrestling right now that by the time he's a senior, he's a state placer for us. So you have to know that you're building everything for the future with those guys.
Talk to us about this year's team. Currently in the most recent rankings, you guys are ranked 10th as a team. You've got 4 wrestlers rated in the top 6 of a respected weight class. What are your thoughts on this year's boys team? I'm talking first and foremost here, your boys team, this in the 25-26 season. What's your thoughts overall on it?
We're young. Like I say, we have those guys that are ranked. We brought back some state qualifiers. Ryder's a state champ. But I think that those guys that made it to state last year are hungry to get their state medal. And then I think some of those guys that were maybe had a little bit of varsity experience last year are really looking to get over the hump and improve quite a bit this year. So, I mean, going into the Eagle Invite, I didn't really know what we were going to look like. Obviously, we went over to Hoxie and the dual score kind of got a little out of hand. So I was a little nervous about that. But then, man, this weekend, those guys, as far as the dual format went, they put everything together, and obviously it worked out for us, taking second. And I feel like even that Pine Creek duel that we lost in the championship was a super competitive duel.
This is kind of going back to something you talked about a couple of minutes ago, but when you get a new wrestler, are there ever tells you kind of get early on where you can see all right, this kid's going to be a really good wrestler once they fine tune some things?
Yeah. With wrestling, a lot of it's just about body control. And I mean, I want to put someone somewhere against their will. And so you can kind of tell, if a person's able to control their body really well, that it's just going to take the teaching of the actual technique. If they can figure out how to move their body in a certain way, you can do a lot of damage just by having good body control in wrestling.
Cole Garcia, once again, our guest here on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline, Colby High School wrestling coach. You mentioned the Eagle Invitational, a second place finish against Pine Creek. What were your thoughts on that finish? I know I look at it and say that's a really good showing there from your Eagle squad.
Yeah, we had two weights that were open, 175 and heavyweight. So we gave up 12 points right away, and we lost the duel by 14. So I think we won the same amount of matches that got wrestled as they did. And to me, for years we've heard about how good Pine Creek is, and don't get me wrong, they are a great team. They're coached really well by Billy Gable. He does an awesome job year in and year out, obviously having great teams. So I don't want to try and take anything away from them, but I felt like we went out there and we competed as well as we could have. There's a couple matches that I felt maybe we could have got a little bit better, but I mean, the guys gave me everything they had, and I think they gave everything they had for their team. So I was very pleased with how that turned out.
How about the ladies' side the day before? They won that pretty convincingly on their side. How about the Lady Eagles and what you've seen from them early on this season? What do you think that their ceiling or expectation could be this year?
I hope that I think that those girls, obviously they do. So we practice together. So they have the exact same practice schedule as the boys, the exact same drill, everything. And they go, and I mean, they work. I guarantee, I don't know if there's many girls programs in the state that are doing what they're doing day in and day out. And so I think with that work, the work they do and the work ethic that they have, I mean, they got to be in the hunt. Obviously 4A is pretty deep when it comes to the talent, but they're just going to keep building and building off what they had last year and keep going up. So I don't know. I can't really say what place they're going to get, but I think that hopefully at the end of the year, Colby girls wrestling has a lot of state medalists coming home.
As a coach, you're always thinking, how can we get better? I'm sure. What's the areas that you're trying to improve upon here before the holiday break?
We got to get better at top and better at bottom. It's always been a struggle for us, getting away from people and holding people down. Obviously, we work a lot on our feet with the takedown being 3 points now. It's huge, but we just got to spend a little bit of time fine tuning how to ride someone and how to get back points and then how to get away on bottom.
We'll let you go on this, Cole. You've been coaching, high schoolers, things like that. Now your kids are getting into the age of wrestling. What's it like being a dad and coaching or helping and then watching your children? What does that change for you?
It's definitely different, and how I can talk to a high school athlete is a lot different than how I can talk to my own kid. So it's been a little bit of a learning experience for that, but with having all my kids in there. So basically Monday, our kids practice goes Monday and Thursday for 2 of my kids and then Tuesday for 1 of them. So on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I'm at the school at least from 3:30 to about 8 o'clock. So it's fun. I mean, obviously, I've wanted this my whole life, and now I get to enjoy it and watch my kids grow and hopefully find a love for the sport.
Well, we got to give a shout out to Merrick. I heard he captured his first bracket this past weekend, so congratulations to Merrick.
That he did. He wrestled tough. He was good stuff.
Proud pop on the other end of the phone. That's all we got to say. Proud dad.
Yep.
Cole, thank you so much for taking some time with us this morning. Appreciate it. Best of luck as the season continues on. We'll catch up down the road.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do have to give a shout out to Aria. Today is her birthday.
Oh,
she's
yes.
13 now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yep. And then also Wyatt Tubbs, one of my assistants. It's his birthday today too.
Well, happy birthday to Wyatt Tubbs and to Aria Garcia. My gosh, 13 years old. Cole, can you believe it? I can't believe it.
No.
Oh my
time flies when you're having fun.
I guess that's the truth. If that's what we're going to call it these days. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Once again, great stuff. Cole Garcia. Gosh, I remember the day Aria was born. Oh my Lord. It's we're getting
really.
Oh yes, I remember the day. My wife and Coach Garcia and his wife are all very good friends. Nice. From Colby, and so I remember the day that she was born. So it's what can I say? It's been a long time. And it's going to be fascinating to follow Coach Garcia's career with his own kids, because you can only imagine, you've got expectations of yourself,
right?
And and you're going to expect your kids to have those expectations too. But I know his son, Merrick, won his first bracket this past weekend. So, all right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We will wrap things up with some thoughts on KU Towson and get out of here on a Wednesday. This is the Morning Blitz.
Since 1989.
Thanks again, Cole. Appreciate the time today.
Yeah, thank you, man. We'll talk to you later.
800-892-4245. LNW Insurance in Goodland and St. Francis. Toll free 800-892-4245. LNW Insurance.
Looking to make a move this season? Let Betty, Robin, Brett, and Preston at Western Auction and Real Estate LLC guide you through your real estate or equipment needs. Western Auction and Real Estate LLC, licensed in Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado.
This season, Cornerstone Orthodontics is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like great sports teams, a winning smile takes teamwork, dedication, and the right game plan. At Cornerstone Orthodontics, we're here to help you and your family score big with confident, healthy smiles that last a lifetime. Visit us at cornerstoneorthodontics.com. Locations are in Colby, Hayes, and Great Bend.
This is J.L. Evans, president of Western State Bank in Colby. From our entire staff, we would like to take this time and wish you a Merry Christmas. May you and yours be blessed with good health and prosperity. Merry Christmas from our home on the range, South Range in Colby. The Western State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
They believe the best things are built to last: family, community, and quality craftsmanship. This holiday season, they're thankful for the people who make it happen, their hardworking team, and the customers who believe in American-made excellence from sawdust to sparkle. Cheers to another year of building excellence. Advantage Architectural Woodwork.
Join the Scooters Coffee team in Colby. We're on the hunt for energetic employees who love coffee and great vibes. A job that has flexible work hours with amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters' mission is to create an amazing experience for each life we touch, including yours. Go to scooterscoffee.com and click on careers to apply today.
It's not just sports, it's your morning game plan.
I don't even believe you have a plan. I have part of a plan. That is not a plan.
This is the Morning Blitz.
Okay, a couple minutes left to go on the show. Plenty of time for us to talk about the whooping that Kansas put on Towson last night. Before, I mean, they had finals to get to. You know, KU had more important things to worry about.
That's right.
73-49, the final. They beat Towson pretty handily. Once again, without Darren Peterson, who was out nursing quad cramping. So the thing I'm thinking about the most here, and you can jump in on any time, but I think about Darren Peterson, and he's missing all these games early on. It really makes me wonder, Kansas has to become a different team when he's not in there because he's kind of a ball-dominant guard. And so my thought would be, when he comes, if and when he comes, I mean, that could be the other thing. He could just never just be healthy this year. I mean, he could be one of those great guys that just can't ever stay on the floor. He could be your next, not college version, but NBA version of, oh gosh, who's the guy for the Pelicans? Zion Williamson.
College, I feel like
he was great.
Kyrie, because he played like 10 games at Duke and still got drafted number 1.
Yeah, so there you go. Great example. So it could be that. But if not, you look at this, Jay, I mean, they got to be different. And so I'm curious how they adjust as the season progresses on. Well, it's a game plan without. It's a game plan without Darren. It's the game plan with him, and how does that impact them throughout the course of the season? I don't know what your thoughts are on that, because I think that could be a huge storyline.
It definitely is, but at the very least, at this point, they have experience playing good teams without Darren Peterson, so they know what to expect with that. But it is a little bit tougher, obviously, when you don't have Darren Peterson, because he's your guy. And I forget where I saw this, but I saw someone say something like, Kansas sometimes looks a little bit better without Darren Peterson because maybe they flow a little bit better and don't feel the need to feed him the ball as often. And that's the conundrum with a guy that has that much talent. You feel like you have to give them the ball, and that's totally fair because they deserve it because they're that good at basketball that you can trust a guy like that to go get you a bucket whenever you need to. But at times that can slow down the offense. So it's like a double-edged sword, but you would probably like him back regardless, to say the least.
I mean, but you look at that box score and you've got 4 guys in double figures, 18, 16, 15, 11, and they didn't get much off the bench or much from anybody else. But I mean, that's really good balance, and you will take that almost any night you can get it, because if someone's having an off night, you have that balance. But I don't know. I just think that's, to me, is one of the biggest things to follow along this season is if he's healthy and not healthy off and on throughout the course of the year, they're going to change the way they play off and on throughout the course of the year, and that could be a disadvantage, maybe an advantage in some cases, but I don't know. We will see what they do. Flory Badunga led the way last night, 18 points, 10 rebounds, another double-double for Flory. Melvin Council Jr. had 15, Bryson Tiller 11, Trey White had 16 last night. Jayhawks are off until Monday, and they face off against the Davidson Wildcats. Steph Curry's old crew. That is the final game before Big 12 play, and they kind of get a little bit of a ramp up. They get UCF, TCU, West Virginia, and then Iowa State, Baylor, Colorado. It's not. I mean, it's the Big 12. I mean,
from those three teams to Iowa State is quite the.
It's a jump.
Up.
Bit of a ramp up there.
Iowa State's really good.
Oh, they're really good. Fantastic. Number 4 team in the country. So, in the Big 12, as we know, is a bear. KU's lost at UCF. I think they even lost their last year, so they could drop that first game. And who knows? It's so hard to know what this KU team is at times because they're never all together. How do we know? We don't know. All right, college basketball tonight, by the way, Colorado, the only team in action. Let's see. Who are they playing tonight? I think it's
probably like Northern Colorado or something.
Portland State. That's what it is. Portland State they play tonight. So be prepared for that. All right, let's get to the walk-off.
And Matt lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Big news yesterday in the world of portaling. Kansas State wide receiver Jace Brown announced he's going into the portal after 3 years. He was Avery Johnson's top target the last couple of years, had 41 catches, 712 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a rushing score this year, but he leaves K-State with over 115 receptions, 2,000 yards, and 14 touchdowns. So you're going to need to find a new top wide receiver at some point.
Tough loss.
Yeah, tough one. See, that's what makes you kind of sick about the portal era. You had a guy who was there for 3 years. Why doesn't he want to come back for a fourth? Finish up the career.
He might have been a climbing guy.
Probably, I guess that's a very valid point. I don't know, but that's the part of portaling that kind of makes me a little bit, geez, you're there. What's wrong? You're there for 3 years. If you're there, if you go and you're there 1 year and you don't like it, all right, go somewhere else. You got to sell the bag of bad goods. But you're there for 3 years. Something must have gone right. I mean, you were getting targets, you were getting touchdowns.
Something big must have gone wrong for him to leave after 3 years.
Who knows?
Conversely.
More money probably is what he's looking for. Also tonight, local sports, a little bit of wrestling, a duel. Colby Community College men at Otero tonight for a wrestling duel. All right, that'll do it for the program today. Thanks to Cole Garcia. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. We're back tomorrow on a Wednesday. Hope you'll join us then. This has been the Morning Blitz. Have a good one.